Although it might be difficult, knowing if you are shedding fat rather than muscle is vital for everyone trying to change their body composition and general health. Having myself traveled this road and supported innumerable others along the way, I can attest to the fact that it's not always as simple as glancing in the mirror or weighing on scales. Still, you can effectively monitor your development and make sure you're headed in the correct path with the correct knowledge and tools. First of all, one must realize that the scale's number does not fully represent the situation. Your weight could not vary much or perhaps rise slightly while you are shedding fat but keeping muscle. Muscle is denser than fat, hence a pound of muscle takes up less space than a pound of fat. Your weight may thus remain somewhat constant or slow down more slowly than you would expect if you are shedding fat and growing muscle at the same time. Measuring your body composition is among the most accurate techniques to find out whether you are losing fat rather than muscle. There are several ways one can accomplish this, each with advantages and drawbacks. Using bioelectrical impedance scales which send a tiny electrical current through your body to approximate your body fat percentage is a common approach. Although these scales are easy to use and generally accessible, they can be influenced by things like time of day you measure and hydration levels. You might want to have a DEXA or dual energy X-ray absorptiometry scan for a more accurate evaluation. This approach gauges lean mass, fat mass, and bone density using low-dose X-rays. Although it's regarded as one of the most precise methods of gauging body composition, it can be costly and not easily available to everyone. Measuring the thickness of skin folds at several spots on your body, the skin fold caliper test is another dependable technique. Under the direction of a qualified practitioner, this test can offer a reasonable approximation of your body fat percentage. To do consistently and precisely, nevertheless, calls for talent. Apart from these more scientific approaches, there are various indicators in your daily life that point to your dropping of fat rather than muscle. Among the most obvious are variations in your clothing fit. If you're losing weight, you'll probably find that your clothes get looser, particularly in places like your waist, hips, and thighs where you usually retain extra fat. If you are keeping or building muscle, however, you may find that your clothes fit differently in some areas. For instance, your shirts could feel tighter around your arms and chest. Variations in your body measurements provide still another clue. Track the circumference of several body parts including your waist, hips, thighs, and arms by flexible tape measure. If you're losing weight, these readings should drop, especially in the places where you usually store more fat. If you are also growing muscle though, particularly in places like your arms or chest, you may see some measurements remain the same or even rise somewhat. Additionally, revealing hints about whether you are losing muscle or fat are your workout performance and energy levels. You should feel energetic and able to keep or even increase your strength and endurance throughout workouts when you are shedding fat and preserving muscle. Conversely, if you are losing muscle, you may find that your strength declines and that you feel more tired throughout exercises. You should also pay close attention to your appetite and dietary reaction of your body. Although you may occasionally feel somewhat hungry when you are reducing weight in a healthy manner, it shouldn't be excessive or continual. If you feel weak and dizzy or are often hungry, it could indicate that you are either not eating enough or losing weight too rapidly, which can result in muscular loss. Though they're not always the most dependable, visual changes can also be another clue. Particularly in places like your arms or shoulders where you naturally have less fat, you may start to see increased muscular definition as you lose weight. Remember though that everyone's body is unique and where you start to lose weight first will differ depending on person. Improvements in health markers are one sometimes disregarded indication of fat loss. Should you be shedding fat rather than muscle, you may find changes in blood pressure, cholesterol, and insulin sensitivity. Though they might not be obvious right away, these developments are a terrific sign that you're headed in the correct health-wise. You also have to give your lifestyle and habits top priority. You're more likely to be shedding fat and keeping muscle if you're following a balanced diet with enough protein intake, routinely strength training, and not significantly reducing calories. Conversely, you run the danger of losing muscle along with fat if you're drastically cutting calories, doing too much cardio without strength training, or not receiving enough protein. Your stress level and quality of sleep also need thought. Maintaining muscle mass and encouraging fat loss depend on enough sleep, as well as stress management. If you regularly obtain good sleep and properly control your stress, any weight reduction you are going through is most likely related to fat. Particularly if you are losing weight quickly, some muscle loss during a fat reduction phase is common and almost certain. Still, you can reduce muscle loss and guarantee that most of the weight you're losing is fat by following a well-crafted diet and exercise program. Losing weight gradually is one way to help maintain muscle while cutting fat. Try to drop roughly 0.5 to 1% of your body weight every week. This slower rate of weight reduction lets your body burn fat more largely than it breaks down muscular tissue for energy. Maintaining muscle mass while dropping fat also depends on including resistance training into your program. Aim for 2 to 3 times weekly strength training, concentrating on compound movements that simultaneously target several muscle groups. This increases your metabolism metabolism, so facilitating fat reduction, and helps maintain muscular mass. Another important component in maintaining muscle while decreasing fat is making sure one gets enough proteins. Aim daily for 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. This more protein helps maintain lean body mass and can also boost sensations of fullness, therefore facilitating the adherence to a calorie deficit. It's also important to note that decreasing fat and preserving muscle isn't usually a straight line approach. You might even witness brief weight or measurement rises or periods when improvement appears to stagnate. This is natural and does not always indicate that you are either gaining fat or losing muscle. Short-term variations in weight and measures can all be influenced by elements including water retention, hormone swings, and changes in glycogen storage. Remember too that everyone's body reacts differently to diet and exercise. One person's solution may not be another's, so be patient and consistent in your approach. Significant changes in body composition take time, hence progress usually comes in little increments instead of large alterations. To find out whether you are shedding fat rather than muscle, use objective data, subjective observations, and knowledge of your general lifestyle and practices. You can get a good sense of whether you are headed in the correct direction by tracking changes in how your clothes fit and your body measurements, monitoring your energy levels and gym performance, paying attention to your general health and well-being, and using body composition measurements. Recall that the objective is to enhance your body composition and general health, not only reduce weight. You're laying yourself up for long-term success and better well-being by concentrating on decreasing fat while keeping muscle. If you have watched until the end of this video and think you've learned anything new or anything of value, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the videos. Don't forget to press the bell icon as well. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.